Hi everyone. I'm going to be making cheese tortellini noodles with ground lamb and meat sauce. It's not my homemade sauce like I normally make it, but it is. I'm going to show you what I add to it. And instead of ground hamburger meat, I use ground lamb sometimes, but you can use ground hamburger. Um, this is just what I like to use when I have it on hand. So I'm getting all my ingredients out while I'm waiting for the water to boil for the cheese tortellini noodles. I'm getting all my ingredients out right now, guys. So I'm all prepared. In a few minutes, you'll hear my husband come in the door from work. And then we need this Gotta leave that out so that way it's back in the bottom. Okay. Now I'm grabbing out this. Hold on, you guys. I'm still here. Okay, the water is boiling. So we're going to add, you can use 2 bags. This will feed like 2 to 3 people, depending on how much you guys eat. But I'm using a bag of Rossetto cheese tortellini noodles. You bring 4 quarts of water to a boil. Then you put the noodles in the boiling water. I always like to, after I put it in, use some red top adobo over the top of the noodles. And then give it a little stir. And you want to bring that back to a boil. And once that comes back to a boil, you want to boil it for 4 minutes. The cheese tortellini noodles on for 4 minutes. Now next is I'm going to start getting, let me get my oven preheated for my garlic bread. And put my oven on 400 to preheat. first for the ground lamb, you want to take a stick of butter. I do about a half about a half a stick of butter. Any brand of butter you like. Use the salted butter because when you're working with ground lamb, you want to have a little bit of a salt element to it. See, I'm using a half a stick of butter into my frying pan. You want to melt this. Now I'm going to turn my frying pan on. And just start moving your butter around the whole pan so that way it melts all over the whole pan, not just in one spot. On my back burner, I brought the water to a boil for the cheese tortellini noodles, and you just gotta once you put the cheese tortellini, then you gotta bring it to a boil again. While I'm waiting for this butter to melt down, please make sure after you're done watching this video, you like and subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell because I don't just do my recipes on here. I also cover shows, all different shows I like. And if you like a show and you want me to start covering that, if I knew all the news about that show, I can do that as well. Okay, our butter is almost done melting. You just want to make sure it's fully melted before I put the meat in. I like to season the butter with just my adobo seasoning. Now I'm going to open the package of ground lamb. You see it's ground lamb. It is 1.95 pounds. So you'll see what I put in it, so that way you don't even end up tasting the lamb. So there's people that don't like lamb. You will taste this recipe and you'll be like, oh my goodness, I can't believe that was lamb in there. Nobody would even guess the way I do it. I just break up my ground meat. A little at a time. I like to break it up myself so that way I can season it all together. The seasoning gets throughout. Because I season the meat before I put the sauce in. Usually when I do my homemade sauce, you'll see the ingredients I use also in my homemade sauce as well. But I also, instead of using the jar sauce like I'm using tonight, I use cans of tomato sauce and tomato paste and diced tomatoes. Turn my rear burner down. Okay. Now we want to boil that in the back for 4 minutes. Done breaking up the ground lamb. You just go around breaking it up all around the pan. Remember, we melted a half a stick of butter in there. And just stir in the tortellini noodles and cheese tortellinis. Hold on. Put this in the sink. I'm throwing that in the garbage can. Hold on, guys. Let me rinse my hands. Sorry, guys. I just had to rinse my hands. Okay, now we're going to use the red top adobo, which we don't want to put the top on that yet because that's one of the ones we use once the sauce goes in. Also, once the meat's been browning, we're going to use cayenne powder. Now we're going to use some buck seasoning. See the yellow buck seasoning? We're going to use some steak seasoning. You find that at your local Walmart. I'm sure you can even find it at Price Chopper. It doesn't matter the brand. Just make sure it's steak seasoning. We're going to use some oregano, crushed oregano. See, crushed oregano. We're going to use some parsley flakes. About a tablespoon of minced garlic. See, a tablespoon of minced garlic. We're going to use the minced garlic on top of the pre-made loaf of. I usually make homemade garlic bread, guys, but I have a loaf of the garlic bread, fresh garlic bread from the store. I'm just going to add more garlic on top of that and some salt on top. We're going to use some soul food seasoning. About a couple of sprinkles. All the seasoning I'm using is just sprinkle it all around a couple times. Make sure you get all the meat. This is going to be garlic pepper. And then first, then we're going to use some Italian seasoning. A couple pinches of brown sugar. Remember, we're still seasoning the ground beef, or ground lamb rather. You can. This is how you would want to do it, even if it's ground hamburger. Sorry, I'm cooking the wrong live on YouTube. Okay. Then we're going to put some French dressing. You want to go around, and I'm going to show you real quick so you can see it real fast. You want to go around and circle like that in the middle. And do some of the tomato basil. It's tasty, savory tomato basil and oregano seasoning it. honey barbecue sauce, sweet with gentle heat. You're going to take and do literally three, three squeezes, three small squeezes in the center. Yellow mustard. You're going to go like that. One, two. Sorry, I have to open my sassy sauce. My sassy sauce is brand new. We're going to take some Sal's mild sassy sauce. You're going to go in a drizzle, into a small drizzle around the outside and around and in the middle. Then we're going to take stir and paste basil. Does not have to be oregano, organic rather, not oregano, organic. But that's what I have on hand right now, so we're going to use the organic one. Wait a second. I'm trying to. There we go. Now, after you open the inside part, put the top back on. Remember, this is your stir and paste basil. This is gluten free. 1, 2, 3. You want 3 little squirts. So you're also going to be putting that in once you do put the sauce in. And start mixing this up. My house smells so good right now. I'm going to get a pan out for my homemade garlic bread. Okay. Not homemade garlic bread, but the fresh garlic bread, fresh baked in the store. And I picked this up from my local Walmart. And I like to, now with this, I just put it over a pan like this if I can't find my pizza pan. I don't know, my husband probably buried it in the dish drainer. So what I do is go across the top like this with my adobo. I don't know if you can see that. I'm going to cross it with my adobo. I'm going to go across it with my onion powder. And then we're going to go take some minced garlic. We're going to take some minced garlic and spread it out. Like so. Now we're going to take and do some salt. Don't do too much. You don't want to over salt it. Across the top. Stick this bad boy in the oven at 400. Like that. Like so. This smells so good in my house now. I'm going to show you as the ground lamb is almost done. And we're going to start adding the sauce, and I'll show you a few things I'm about to add to it once I put the sauce in. See what you want. You don't want to drain it. I'm going to take garbage out the recyclables. That's got to get washed. But that's recyclables in there with the bag of trash in my bedroom. Do not tie it up until you don't put bathroom trash cans in it. But let's keep thinking here while you're handing me that. I'm trying to cook. Huh? I know, but I'm really mean to you. I'm trying to cook right now. Can you open this jar of sauce for me, please? I've been trying to open it and I can't. I even tried getting it out of the sink. Open it.
There you go.
Okay. Now to put. Usually I make my own sauce, but we're just going to use some oregano flavor with meat pasta sauce. And because we didn't drain the mixture I made to create a sauce base. One can will be enough. I'll show you what we're going to put in it. Sorry, rinsing out the sauce container. Okay. So now, fry through this sauce, and we're gonna put literally go like this back and forth to get 4 to 5 good sprinkles of adobo at the top of that sauce. And we're gonna want some like this. You want to shake the onion powder to where you can see it over the top of the sauce. You want some of the steak seasoning, not too much of that because you already put it in the meat. You only want 2 tiny sprinkles of that. Garlic pepper, a couple sprinkles. You shake it back and forth across it. You don't need any of the soul food seasoning, but we do need the Italian style herb grinder. Just do it all the way around it. We want to open the parsley. This is freeze dried dill. We put a tiny bit of early enough, probably. If I have a measure, I don't usually measure things. Regular parsley or fresh parsley. Put it in there. We just want a quarter teaspoon of that. Some oregano crushed. You want to shake it like this because with the oregano, it doesn't come out as much. Then we're going to take one tiny handful of brown sugar. You want to also add some of the tomato, basil, oregano packet. Just do, just hit the side of it till you get a little bit in there. Less than about a, I'd say a third of a teaspoon. Some stir and paste basil. That's gluten free. You want one little squirt because remember you already put 3 squirts in for the meat. The last ingredient, go over the sauce. Gonna be 1 teaspoon or tablespoon, sorry, of sugar, white sugar. And then we'll stir all that together. Just let me rinse my hands, see if I brown sugar off my hands. Get out your colander so you can. Oh, I might want to get a. I need my pot holder. That handle is hot. We're gonna take it. We're gonna dump it. If you want to drain the water out. Okay. Now you want to, after you've let this cook for 2 minutes the way you did, then you want to mix it all in. I'm going to show you real quick before I actually put the cheese tortellini in there. See? That's how it's supposed to look. Now we're going to turn it down to medium low because then we're going to add the cheese tortellini noodles that we already cooked and stir them in. Make sure you're mixing it all up good so you get the meat all through it and the sauce. This actually could feed 3 to 5 people easily. And if you wanted to feed a big family, just add another my bag of cheese tortellini noodles so, and another jar of sauce. I'm going to show you real quick how them. That's the way it's supposed to look. I'll show you once I plate it out. Once the garlic bread is done. Will you please run the bag of trash from my bedroom? And those vegetables up. I want to do it so you don't forget while I'm out here because dinner's almost done. You're not going to want to once you get in the room because we're already eating in the room. Okay. Now I'm gonna wash my pan I used to boil the. Oh, Junior did a little social experiment. Now we just keep that on. We'll keep that on low while we're waiting on the. I'm gonna chuck the garlic bread right down. I'd say the garlic bread is done. Garlic bread on 400 for about 5 to 7 minutes for the whole loaf. Okay, now just cutting out. Sorry, I'm holding the garlic bread with my pot holder because it's really hot. Since I just came out of the oven. There we go. Now we're going to turn this off. That's ready. Start carrying all that stuff to the bedroom, please. The dinner's done. Okay. Junior. Before I show my garlic bread on my thing. Okay, hold on. Here's my husband's plate. It's full. It's got 4 pieces of garlic bread around. There's mine next to it. And then there's a whole pan still left. So you could feed your entire like, and subscribe. And stay tuned for more videos and click the notification bell so you get all the notifications.